Truly appreciate everybody for being here. I thought it was important for me to get in front of everyone today for a short time to be able to discuss a couple things. As you know, Coach Davey and I have had an opportunity to meet and decided to mutually part ways. One thing that I want to make sure everybody is aware of, he is going to be coaching this weekend, and we're really appreciative of that as well. I do want to take this moment to acknowledge and say we appreciate his contributions and his coaching staff at what they have done for UNM over the years. This is going to be as quick as I can say in regards to the process moving forward. I will visit with everyone in here after this weekend's game. At this point, as we told our student athletes this morning when we met with them, again, that this focus for this week is going to be for them. It's going to be for the seniors and for them. And I know timing's not ideal. I understand that, and I think everybody does as well. But we're going to do everything we can to allow that opportunity to present itself for the student athletes and make sure that they can go out there and play for the seniors as well as for themselves. So at this point, I will not be going through much as far as the process moving forward. I will meet again Sunday or Monday. We will let everybody here know. And at that point, I'll have more details as far as the process that we're going to be moving forward with and the details involved with it. Biggest thing that I ask for everybody here is ask for your patience. We will be very upfront, and I think everybody here knows me by now. I try to make sure that everybody is fully informed on how we're doing things and what we're going to do, and we're going to choose to do the same with this process. So I'll answer some questions. I know there's a couple that I'll be able to answer, some that I will not, and I hope you understand. And when I can answer them, I will make sure to do so. So I'll open it up for a couple questions. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, so when did you guys, when did you come to this conclusion, and was it around the buyout? Is there a buyout?
So, and first of all, let me put that out there because I think that's what a lot of people are actually asking right now. In regards to the terms of what was decided or mutually agreed upon, right now those are still being handled and finalized between legal. None of that becomes final until the board approves it. So at this point, I cannot speak specifically about all the details and everything until the board has approved it. And the next board meeting is December 10th. So that will be the first time that those details will come out. In regards to Coach and I, we had an opportunity to meet Sunday, and then again followed up Monday. All the details and everything. Again, we're very the conversation started Sunday, but ultimately Monday is when everything was discussed and agreed upon, I guess.
Hey, there's a rumor that an offer has already been made. Is there any truth to that?
No. Again, I'm not going to get into the discussions of where we are moving forward, and I'm assuming you're saying an offer to a coach.
Yes.
I have not spoken to anyone or in regards to this opportunity. As you know, rumors, innuendos, everybody starts talking about everything and who needs to be the next coach and everything else. And I'm going to be respectful for that process, and I'm going to be respectful to those once we get involved with that process. But as I stated in the beginning, this week is going to be about our kids. You're not going to hear from me any further until after this Saturday's game. Sorry about that, a little windy. But we will make sure to make sure everyone understands how we're going to go forward with it.
Well, Eddie, why make the decision now? Why make an announcement now and not wait until after the game on Saturday?
You know, again, there's never an ideal time, and this is something I think everybody has heard from me before in discussing anything with coaches, that I'm going to do my part evaluating coaches, evaluating the teams throughout the year. The reality is, when we looked at what was going on, our focus was on our kids, and too much was already with speculations and everything else. And when we had an opportunity to sit down and discuss, I think everybody agreed that the opportunity to allow these kids to go out there and play and try to get this out of the way. But at the end of the day, everybody could mention or say which way is better or different about going through these processes. At this point, we felt it was the best interest to do it at this point.
When does that coaching search begin, and you guys need to use a firm?
Again, I'll get more into the details of as far as the process. Nobody has been hired. None of that has been discussed. The process begins as soon as a change is made. I mean, you know, people start calling and everything else, and right now I'm just trying to put those to the side for the time being, trying to make sure that we put everything we need to first and foremost for our student athletes, our coaches, there's a lot of people that are affected with this. I mean, you talk about not just Coach Davey and his family, but you're talking about all the assistant coaches, the staff, the student athletes. So we want to be respectful as much as we can during this process. It's never easy, but we're going to do what we can first from there.
Mark, Jim, Black,
Mark?
Eddie,
Yes, sir.
how much did the off-field issues that the program has had in the last few years come into play with the decision?
Again, there's not one specific case or anything that would say that this is, when you evaluate the program, you look at every component and everything about it. But there's not one single thing that I would say that played a part or had more of a weight to it. I know what we've been trying to do here during my time here is trying to get the program where everybody feels it needs to be. And it's unfortunate that we've had some circumstances prior to me and, that have been there. But I've also felt that our coaches and everybody else has tried to do everything that was done that had maybe been done differently or shouldn't have been done a certain way. They've been really made an emphasis over the years to make it right. So from my standpoint, it's really where the program needs to be and where we want to go. And so it really wasn't one set item or anything else.
So it's a combination of the off-field and the on-field?
No, again, it's a whole culmination of how I evaluate the whole program from top to bottom.
Jim?
Yes, sir, Jim.
What's the number one criteria for the next coach?
Again, I'm not going to get into those right now. I want to respect Coach Davey is still here at this moment. He's and our student athletes. I told our student athletes I wasn't going to have any more conversations past today regarding that subject. So once we have that next one, at that point I'll elaborate more on what we're looking for, what the opportunity is, and further. So please understand, I'm not trying to appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, sir.
I know you said this was a mutual parting of the ways, but I mean, was he fired or did he resign?
Again, it was mutual. As he said, as you read in the release, he understood what he wanted to see from this program as much as we did. So in those discussions started the next several steps, which was trying to find a mutual landing place for both of us. So I really appreciated his willingness to want to do that as well.
What can you say about the process of the buyout and how the financial stability of the athletic department weighs into the buyout situation?
Again, when you're looking at any kind of financial situations for our department, you got to take everything that we've done. I think what we need to do is take a step back and realize that over the last 2 years we've done a tremendous job with our budgets and making sure that we're financially, responsible as much as we can for the way we've conducted our business. Moving forward, that is a part. Whatever kind of opportunities present themselves in regards to any agreements or anything else have to be kept in mind. But there's also creative ways we can also build up other areas to be able to make some of those resources available. So all that goes into account. I'm really excited and proud of what our staff and our coaches and everybody have done over the last 2 years to make sure that we do everything we can financially to put us in the right position.
A number hasn't been arrived at yet?
As I said before, I cannot discuss on that right now.
But you have a target date for the stability of the program that I need a coach in here by now?
No, there's no timetable. And I don't want to put a timetable on anybody regarding that right now. Once that process begins, again, we're going to be diligent. We're going to be very methodical in the way we go about things. But the reality is we want to make sure that we don't put ourselves in a window just because. We want to make sure we do it right. We get the right person here for the job.
Was there any outside help as far as getting any money to make these terms happen or whatever? How have you guys resolved this?
So you're asking if somebody said, I'm going to pay this to do this?
Yeah, somebody
No.
put up some money because, you have boosters sometimes come forward.
No, at this point, again, what we're looking at doing, regardless of how we move forward with our entire program, is we're going to do it any way we can. And that's a culmination of different ways, different aspects. I wasn't out there, and that wasn't a process. There wasn't anybody that came up and said, we want to do this for that. I'm a big believer in that if we're going to do it, we've got to do it the right way, and we're not going to just take suggestions or something like that. I want to be careful, but I also want to do it right.
Eddie, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Rick.
Eddie, given that none of us is willing to support Gonzaga, which doesn't sponsor football,
Sure.
is there any consideration being given to dropping the FCS or dropping the program altogether?
Again, Rick, and I think you've heard this before from my conversations regarding when we discussed the sport reduction of sports here for us. Football is a very integral part of the Mountain West Conference. And I think when you look at the Gonzaga comments and them coming in the league and everything else, there's a lot of stuff that's still not out there that was in behind closed doors discussions and everything else. Football's a key part of the Mountain West. And we heard this first and foremost when we went through the process with the sports. I still believe it today. I still believe that we can be, this football program can provide a wealth to this community, the state. No, it is not a consideration, and at this point, it will not be. Will.
Eddie, we can talk all day about wins and losses and off-field stuff, but then through the evaluation process, where do you feel what's the state of the Lobos football program in your opinion?
Well, first of all, we got to take into consideration our student athletes. We've got some wonderful kids out there that have been resilient. We've had some challenges this year, and things that probably no program in America has had to experience. So let's give them a lot of credit. They came here to fight for UNM, for the Lobos, and they've done an unbelievable job. And so when we talk about the overall program, where we are today, where we need to be, nobody disagrees that we got to do better. And I think nobody disagrees that we have to do a better job getting our fan base circled around our program as it's been in the past. I think Coach Davey agrees, and he'll state that. But we've seen success here. We've had some of the greatest players in NFL and in college play here. There is an opportunity to be extremely successful here. We've got to do what we got to do, and that's what this week's going to be, is trying to identify those characteristics and putting them in place as we go forward with the search.
All right, Henry T.
Once the process is over, once
Yes, sir.
the dust is cleared, way down the road, what do you envision for Lobo football?
I envision the same thing I see with all our coaches and all our student athletes, is a pride. It's knowing that that the community, the state, the Lobo supporters know that the individuals that are out there competing, that are coaching, that are representing this program are doing it the right way. They're going to do it and put their best effort. And I'm not going to sit here and say that we're going to have a coach that's going to come out here and win 10 games every year. What I want to do is I want to be able to find somebody that's going to buy into what the culture is here. It's a rich tradition in New Mexico, in Albuquerque. Our coaches have shown it across the board, and there shouldn't be any difference in that. Hiring this next coach is so I want somebody that's going to have a passion and want to be here. This is an unbelievable opportunity. The Mountain West, we've had success, and those are going to be criteria at some point that are going to be included with the overall approach.
When do you think you'll have a list as far as, I don't know if you have one now, but when do you think you'll narrow down a short list and all that stuff?
Again, the process, I mean, we're 24 hours, basically a little less than 24 hours into this from the conversation and what came out yesterday. So all that's going to happen here in the next several days as the next couple weeks go along. So right now, I'm not going to get into that, but Sunday I'll have a little more elaborate
I guess what I was
conversation.
asking you was like, are you guys giving yourselves an expiration date as far as we need to have a guy in place here?
No, that was answered to his question earlier. No, I'm not going to have a timetable on that. Yes, sir.
So Eddie, is it safe to say we're not gonna have an early December signing for football players?
No, I don't want to never say never. I guess we all say that at times, but the reality is there is kids that are still very interested in here, and our coaches our assistant coaches are going to remain on staff. They're going to continue to do what they're doing, is recruiting these young men. These young men have bought into the UNM culture. Yeah, I know there's always a tie with the coach, but there's also a tie with the university. So we're going to continue to do our part, and there might be an opportunity.
Let's go.
You said that the timing of this is difficult, and your focus is the kids that are still here in the building. What about the timing is so difficult, and what are we doing for the kids that are still in the building?
Well, we're doing everything we could possibly do, and that is making sure that they understand that moving forward, we're going to put those kids in the position to be successful. So right now, their focus is in this week, like it would be every other week, any other week for a football game. So from our hope is that they understand that we're going to a change. They're not having to hear all the different comments in this, if coach is going to be here or not. To be able to move forward, understanding what's happening already gives them a little clarity. No, I'm not going to say they're going to feel content or they have all the answers that they need, but at least it gives them an understanding that this week we're going to go out and play for the Lobos and themselves.
For example, one more here.
Have you decided who's gonna run the program in the interim until the coach is hired?
No, I'm gonna make those decisions throughout the week here at some point, and then ultimately announce that if in fact we do choose to do an interim or an acting, or we do it by committee. I can tell you this, that my staff, their staff, everyone in this department is gonna put all hands on deck to make sure that we surround this team and let them know that we're gonna be there for them in every which way, from academics to athletics.
Finish up with Steve.
And when did the Regents give the okay to the administration to take over the football coach situation? When did that happen, and was the intent to remove Coach Davey at that point?
Again, the conversations were when we had the initial conversations about moving forward with the program in a different direction and having that dialogue with Coach. We had to reach out to certain board members to find out their feel, find out what their expectations were, because to get into this kind of communication, we had to make sure that they understood where we were going and how everything. So over the last 24 to 48 hours, we've had more of those conversations. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it.